Hey guys, it's Ryan Morrissey with Peak Custom Fitness Solutions, and I'm here to talk to you about whether you are working out or training. So let's do a little self-assessment. A workout, all right, is something where you get a good sweat in. There's no real connection to any other days of the week. There's no connection to the week prior or the week ahead. You chose a workout that felt good, or maybe it was tied to a workout your friend was doing or something you saw online. We've seen a lot more content shared lately due to the situation our country's in on virtual platforms. So we're just constantly inundated with workout challenges and ideas that may or may not be relevant to our fitness goals or our needs. So training, on the other end of the spectrum, you know exactly what you're doing each and every day, whether it's a workout or a rest day or an active recovery day or a high intensity day. You know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it. It's based on what you've done in the past. You qualify yourself to do certain exercises and certain types of workouts for each day and each phase of training moving forward. And we know the direction we're going in after. And each day and each week is basically a stepping stone to the next step in your journey. It's timeline driven. So if you are involved in an activity that's seasonal or you play a sport, there's a rhyme and a reason to training in a specific phase at different times of the year. And if you miss some of those phases, you can't make them up later by doing extra workouts on the left side of this column. So there's a timeline that's specific to long-term development, and we need to stick with that timeline. We've got a rhyme and a reason to what we're doing, and it's all in one big game plan. One thing I want you to understand as well is that training may or may not feel good every day. Workouts, if we're with our friends and we're doing things we like on a day-to-day basis, they may be fun every single day, but they may not get us anywhere. So the light days or the big time overload days that are really uncomfortable, you're probably not going to feel too good about doing or feel too good about after. But it's part of training. And if you want long-term development and results, that's the path you have to take. Metrics matter. So if you go into the gym and you're figuring out what you're doing as you're walking into the lobby and you're thinking about what reps, or you chose a weight that was too heavy, so you stuck with 6 reps instead of 10 for the day, and you changed on the fly, we're not getting any kind of metrics or any kind of data from that workout. So we need our metrics to be on point from the week prior, from the phase we're in, and understand what the goal is. Is it volume? Is it intensity? How do our rest periods change? How are all those things relevant? And the last thing in training is we can't have an ego, because an ego derails your progress and takes you completely off the green line. So this is what training looks like. We have 5 major steps to training. So number 1 is goal setting. Right? If you want to get better at something, you need to set a goal. Right? If you don't have anywhere to start, any assessment up front, and any short-term and or long-term attainable metric-driven goal, there's no way to define success. So number 1, we have to start there. Then we have to formulate a strategy. How are we going to get to that goal? What does that incorporate? Figure out the tools you're going to use as step number 3. If you're looking to build muscle and strength for a sport that requires that, and maybe power development, does it make sense to do hours and hours and hours of low intensity cardio and mobility work so you're overstretched? No, not at all. So even if you like that type of training, it's ineffective and it's not going to take you in the direction you want to go. And vice versa. If you're throwing around heavy weights in the gym and you're doing a ton of plyometrics, but you're completely deconditioned cardiovascularly, and your goal or your sport involves that component, then you better involve that in your training strategy, and you better figure out what kind of tool to utilize. So I hear all the time that people go to spin class or take yoga or Pilates because it's fun and it feels good and their friends do it. Well, that's great. There's nothing wrong with doing something that's socially driven, or maybe there's a psychological component that's important, and I am all for that. I have activities that I do myself for that, but I don't quantify that as training, right? That's outside of it. If you want to have a social component, go with your friends and grab a coffee, or go to that yoga class or Pilates class but it's after the training that you need to do to get you to your goal. And the application of tools, that's your workout. That's your day-to-day grind for getting through what you need to do to give your body a physiological stimulus. And that's how your body changes. So if we don't apply our strategy in the right manner or meet the metric goals that we have each day, then that physiological stimulus isn't going to happen and we're not going to get any closer to our goals. And the last step is to reevaluate. We need to be honest with ourselves. And as trainers, we need to be honest with our clients and make sure that we are reassessing their physiological changes and our own strategy that we formulated. And if it's not getting them in the right direction or getting them there, as fast as it should within physiological boundaries, then we need to reevaluate and we need to modify our strategy. And that's what training is. There isn't one answer. And if anyone ever tells you that there's one training program that's the best or one type of modality to use on a day-to-day basis, run the other way, because there isn't. Everybody's different. Physiology in every person's different. The application's different. Coaching cues matter. Technique matters. Metrics matter. And if we think that we have it right, our ego's getting in the way. This is what a workout looks like. Usually there's not a goal except just get it over with, right? Or meet your friend somewhere and do it. There isn't a strategy. We haven't thought about, is this workout appropriate? Is this thing I pulled off YouTube, safe? Is it effective? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? Is it in line with the goals that I have or the goals that I should have made? No, we go right to the next step and we just grab the modality that we want and we dive right in. Oh, I'll try my spin class. Oh, I'll go lift with a buddy today. We have a lot of extra time. Let me go over their basement and we'll go throw some weights around. If it's something that you haven't been training for, planning, or moving in that direction, you're increasing the likelihood of injury. You're throwing a stress on your body that you may or may not adapt favorably to, and you're probably doing it for the wrong reason. So we skip our first two steps. We go right to number 3, right to number 4, right? We apply that workout, apply that tool that day, and then we usually don't reevaluate because our stimulus changes day to day and week to week because we hop all around the internet looking for different types of workouts, or we change the social group that we work out with, or we do whatever our mind feels like that day. And if we have that kind of strategy or lack thereof, then you can't really reevaluate because you don't even know what metrics to test because you're all over the place. So this is the difference between working out and training. Obviously, I'm a little biased. Training is going to get you to accomplish your short-term goals and show you long-term development. It's not always fun. There are fun days, but what I tell my clients is the fun comes when you assess. The fun comes when you have a goal that you've met. The fun comes when you have an event or a workout to test metrics and you see how far you've come. Every day might feel the same as far as difficulty and stress on the body, and you might not feel like you're getting any better until you look in the rearview mirror and then you see how far you've come over time. So that's training. That's what gives you the long-term development and the win. You just need to hang in there long enough. So we're going to have a number of different tools that we use and apply in some podcasts and Zoom calls recorded coming up that we'll be sharing with you in the future. Just wanted to discuss the strategy and do the self-assessment today to see where you fall in and see if you need a change in your direction with your exercise. More to come. Thanks for hanging with us. Follow us on our social platforms and on our website. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.